Everybody has a podcast.
Yeah. What up? Whew. Damn. How about you had a great weekend? Woo!
J.Wiggy, take out the trash!
I got to get on that cackling, Grant Mills. Sound like you had a good weekend. Good ass weekend. Was it that good?
I don't remember.
Oh,
that's good or not.
That sounds good.
How was your weekend, my friend?
Oh, it was pretty down to earth. We had a 3-year-old birthday party to host. Those are always fun. You know what the weird thing about that is? It's not the kids. Kids can play and adapt and shit. It's the adults. You got to meet a lot of adults you don't know. They're bringing their kids from the school and the daycare. You got to do the small talk like, oh, hey, man. Oh, so where do you work at? That's the worst part about it. But really, it was fun. We had a great time. Kids had a great time. And another family weekend for J.Wiggy.
Family. Was there any MILFs up in that mud?
Sadly, no.
The fit.
You know, I would say I'm trying to think, but man, no.
Well, that's a good thing, man. You can get caught by the wife.
I think most of them had turned that maternal. Oh yeah. At the 3-year-old party, that's hell to pay. That's hell to pay. But nah, most of them have turned that maternal corner and have adopted the mom look, the frumpy. They don't give a shit. They're bringing their kids. They're gonna get dirty.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, you know.
So hey, some of them can rock it though. Some of them can rock it for real. But at this one, sadly, Grant Mills and I know Whis will ask later about it. So I'll go ahead and say there was nothing there that would have suited y'all's fancy.
Whis might be late, man. He told me his cat has osteoarthritis. He's taking.
Yeah, I heard that shit. Damn.
He might be a little bit late, but he is coming. Coming on in, man. So yeah, weekend review. So I know we had the full weekend with kids and fam. How was your week, man? Pretty regular week. Any weird stories from the road?
You know, I was actually at the house most of last week doing some at home work. But you know what I got into? I actually, we go down a lot of nostalgia on this show. And I didn't realize I've been given a lot of streaming services a try, see what kind of shows they have. Tried Paramount Plus. It's been pretty cool. But man, I didn't realize these motherfuckers have a lot of old Nickelodeon throwback shows like Legends of the Hidden Temple and Doug. So this may be boring. I did not get out and do anything exciting, but man, I went on a deep dive for Legends of the Hidden Temple. Watched a ton of this shit at night while eating dinner. Man, I fucking got mad at this shit. These kids are terrible at that fucking going through the Hidden Temple and shit. But it was fun, man. It was tons of nostalgia. As exciting as I am, I watched 90s kid shows from Nickelodeon.
Well, that's cool, man. I really didn't do too much this weekend either. Nickelodeon, I never was too big on like that show. I don't even know what that is. But the one show that I did watch on that was You Can't Do That on Television. That's pretty really old. Dating myself on that one, but that like a cool show. I can't even really explain like my interpretation of it back then. How cool it was.
I remember it really well, and I think I actually saw some of that, and it is actually on Paramount Plus. They have the first season though. Man, the first season was 1979, so they don't have all the seasons. But I remember that in the 80s as a really young kid. How would you describe that? Maybe as a kid, was it kind of like a kid's sketch, SNL maybe?
You know what? I was just about to say it was like the kids in Living Color or like
Okay.
SNL or with the slime. You got slime for saying was it? I don't know. It was like some phrase you said, and you got with the slime hit with the slime, man. And they actually had some funny skits and stuff, and it seemed like I don't know, pretty cool back in the day. So
yeah, there was some good shit back on Nickelodeon back then, and man, it's good. That nostalgia, man. They made good shows back then. I feel like they don't have that originality like nowadays. And they have game shows, but most of them now are reality shit. And you don't see a lot of shit just for kids. When you were a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, man, you dreamed of being on that kind of shit.
Yeah, they had cool shit back then. Now everything's non-original, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it's kind of I try to look at both sides, man. I mean, it's kind of hard to be original. So much shit's been done, but
right, yeah, it's tough, man. And I think also there's just a lack of imagination now. I mean, you don't have to have it. You got things that create shit for you. You got the Chat GPT that's writing shit for you. You've got so much information. You don't have to go to the fucking library or anything and research. You don't have to just sit around on a summer day and think. No TV and shit.
Yeah, man, it's a lot different. I kind of when I was thinking about this whole podcast, I was like, should I do a vodcast too? I'm like, man, fuck all that. Let's just go with the straight audio, man. I think it engages a different part of the imagination and brain that is otherwise negated by the images that are on screen, whether it be the TV or, internet. You already have these images that are there. So, yeah, there's no imagination. I sound like an old librarian, but like your brain just it's not going to engage. And like, that's just pretty real. So,
yeah, keep you healthy too.
Yeah. And so, what? Hold on. What's up? What's going on the thingamadoobs? Lighten up a minute and see who is this?
Hello, motherfuckers. Well, Philip, he's doing all right. He's just chilling. I told my kid he got osteoarthritis. He's doing better though.
I'm glad to hear that, man. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. How was y'all's weekend, V?
Pretty good, man. We were just talking about that right now. At the
We had a
moment,
good one though.
J.Wiggy was at a kid's birthday party. I didn't do too much shit, blacked out, drunk a little bit, and I don't know, some other shit. I was gonna get my car washed, but like I haven't done that shit. Like my favorite car wash is going through like this crazy ass renovation, man. I've been down there like twice. And I'm like, man, fuck. That means I gotta go to an automatic car wash. And I'm like, man, a new automatic car wash. I'm like, man, I'm a little bit like weird. But I don't want to do that shit myself because every muscle in my body will hurt the next day. Have you ever tried to wash your car like fucking like a real man? That's why I look at their car and their truck after they get done with that shit because it fucking hurts. It's gonna hurt the next day.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, look at the fruits of my labor, goddammit.
They be admiring that shit, man. Don't fuck no, dude. That's one of those manly jobs that I fucking suck at. I feel like every time I wash my car and shit, it gets streaks and stuff. It looks worse almost. I don't know what.
Yeah, I suck at it too.
Yeah, I'll admit that. I'm terrible at it. I'll take it somewhere. But you're right, man. Going from one to another, some of them do them a lot better. You got to have it where the kids are up front and hitting it with the brush and shit first, and then roll through. Just going straight through the goddamn.
Yeah.
Auto washed rough.
Yeah, well, that one on the fucking P-Way, man, that was the lick, dude. That was good, and go through wasn't that bad. But now, man, I don't know what they're doing to it. I always thought, man, that would be a prime time spot to buy if you have money and turn it total automatic. And I bet that's what they're fucking doing. Because the guys are getting fucking old, and that's just like, it was a family-run business, so they either sold it and, big business is getting on that motherfucker and doing what I thought they would do and turning it into a fully automatic deal, which would be fucking genius out there actually. Or maybe have one guy out there or something. I don't know. It would depend, but it would definitely still make fucking great money either way. But yeah, man, that motherfucker's gutted. They've been doing shit to it. I'm like, man, I don't know which one I want to go to. I got one right out here, and then I don't know, man. Shit, there's another one. With me going down riding out every day, I see car washes all the time. But then I'm just like, man, I don't know. I just need to go ahead and do that shit. I'm being a puss.
Yeah, man. It's God, getting it right though. It's tough. You got to go to the car wash. I think I'm at this point. I'm over the hill to learn how to wash my car effectively. Don't get me wrong. Now, if it's really fucking dirty, I mean, I'll fucking hose it off and shit. Try to scrub it down. I can clean the inside like a motherfucker, make it look like a dream.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing that I won't take my shit nowhere to do the full service. I don't trust fools. I just rather go run it through somewhere. That's all I'm doing because I take care of the inside, man. I bought 2 fucking vacs for that shit, and then I think I'm gonna buy another one for like to go in between like the hard parts because you don't need a lot. Those vacs at the place generally suck anyway. You know what I mean? They're not that great.
Oh, they whack.
They do the deal, but I mean for like the real getting in between shit,
Yeah, and for some reason, I know that shit's going into a big ass canister, but I was down there one time and I saw the person open up the canister to empty it and shit, man. That thing was nasty inside. And I feel like if it like goes back or I don't know, the vacuum just seemed like they stink and shit. I'll put their other people's shit in my car, even though it's sucking it away. If it makes sense, I don't know. It's sucked up a lot of nasty shit. I don't want to put it on my floor to suck up shit. It's like a nasty hoe that's sucked a bunch of wieners out.
I mean, well, you don't want to I don't want to be hanging out at the car wash vacuuming my shit anyway. I just rather run through the motherfucker and be done with it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to get robbed for some reasons.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what else? You know who's a good band from the '90s? I was doing a little, a little dive on '90s bands, man. And so Blues Traveler.
Oh.
So they had that one hit, run around, and everybody liked that. Some good song, but like, man, that was a really good band. They got some good shit, and that fucking John Popper, that fat bastard, could sing pretty good. He lost a bunch of weight though, and I think they're playing in Montgomery, man. I ought to go out to that motherfucker, but they're a really fucking kick-ass band, man. I hate that I missed out on them, except for that one song.
Yeah,
everybody fucking loved.
What was that song that
Run Around?
Run Around. That's right. Yeah. They Yeah, I heard a lot about them. I played some of their songs when I was a DJ at a local skating rink for 2 years. Kind of introduced me to some music, but we had to keep the music all PG, maybe some PG-13. Yeah, man, kind of underrated. So you said they're still touring?
They are still touring. I think they're going to be in Montgomery. Is the next date up that's around the South, and so yeah, man, John Popper, he's underrated. That dude can sing, and I'm not, Mister. I love to watch a man sing, but I mean, a dude can fucking belt it out, man. He's pretty good, and that's a fucking kick-ass band. So,
I mean, you got to appreciate good
yeah,
singing.
sure, man. I was watching some of the reruns of Howard Stern had the birthday bash when he was a K-Rock. And I was looking at it, I was like, God, Howard Stern should be so cool. And he had the straight hair. He was like an asshole. And man, God, he sucks now. I fucking hate him.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing. My granddad used to watch Howard Stern and let me watch it. I'd be like, God, young as fuck. Listening to him on the radio too back in the day. And yeah, he was
would not have flown. It was so fucking anti what the goddamn world is now. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. And like that's how he fucking made it, dude. That's how he made it. And now he's like on that dumb shit now. So I don't know. I'm not gonna get off into him because we could go all fucking. We've kind of been on him and we can go all fucking show on him. But he just pisses me off, man. Just fucking retire, you Jerry Curl. Fucking having fuck. You
fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, hypocrite. Fuck. You're already rich as fuck. What is he gonna do? He's got a hot ass wife. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you're a bitch. You're a fuck boy.
He's I agree. Fuck boy.
Yeah, and the other stuff from the week, man. It's just kind of like we don't do down shit, but I feel like I need to call this out. Ozzy Osbourne, man. So Ozzy Osbourne, man. I don't think he's gonna tour anymore. So he's getting really fucking old now. That sucks, man. But I think his team is working on something. I don't know what that would be, but maybe one of those hologram shows. I don't know. He's so fucking old though, man. He snorted ants on tour. That's how I'm like, God damn, dude, like the wildest motherfucker ever. Like hell, dude, he's like fucking 80 now. He performed into his 70s, like well into his 70s, dude. He was still out there doing shit. No, okay, let's take it back. He's 74. All right. Fucker looks 80, but he was still fucking performing out there. I mean, he ain't Mick Jagger or no shit, but come on, man. Who is?
But I mean, would he be considered harder in personal life than Mick Jagger? Maybe not more than Keith Richards.
Oh, Keith Richards is a different. I don't. Yeah. He's a fucking alien.
He's got to be, but I mean, Ozzy to even make it to 74 and finally calling it finally slowing down. I mean, dude, these motherfuckers are a different breed. They really fucking are. It's sad though, man. I mean, I feel like. I think we're finally hitting that age where you start seeing your heroes that you grew up with start slowing down and shit or dying. And it's, I don't know. It makes the world a weird, different place because you don't want to get into the new shit. We were just talking about that. And, we're not familiar with the newer shit because this is kind of, our era. And it's, to say the least, it's the end of an era. So that sucks, man. I like Ozzy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he bit the heads off of bats, and
he didn't give a fuck.
He had Zakk Wylde as a lead guitarist, and Randy fucking Rhoads, God rest his soul, but fucking shit, dude. Yeah, well, he'll do something, man. They'll probably have him on stage as a fucking hologram,
I thought that shit was kind of cool.
That'd be the coolest thing, I think, because who wants to watch him on a fucking, let's go ahead, put him in a venue. We'll do it the hologram way, and you can still have the venue experience and do some other cool shit. Have some other bands out there, or something like that.
What'd they do that? That was with Tupac, right?
Yeah. It was with Tupac, and I think with Chief Keef too, when he was arrested. And yeah, man, they can do goddamn anything nowadays. So crazy time. And that's going to go ahead and flip it to this, folks. proofreading this time, and we got some pretty cool stories related to nerd shit and maybe a world record. So, man, we talked about Star Wars. You were never a Star Wars guy.
No, I've tried, but I have not and cannot get into it.
Me neither, y'all. That's for dumb asses. I get too much pussy for these.
I'll say this about Star Wars. Like maybe one or two movies are cool. You get really high and watch them, but like that's really, I don't get into like the whole, going out and, collectibles or, going into a new movie at 3 in the morning before anybody gets there or standing in line kind of shit. Nah. But we have some Han Solo's. Han Solo's original blaster sells for a world record $1,057,500. This article is by Ben Hooper, by the way. Han Solo's blaster from the original Star Wars trilogy became the most expensive prop gun sold at auction with a price of, just what I said, $1,057,500. The blaster, known officially in Star Wars lore as the Blastech DL-44 Heavy Blaster, was one of the delivered by actor Harrison Ford during the filming of 1977 Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Illinois-based Reef Island Auction said the blaster is one of 3 to survive to the modern day. The prop was modeled after a German-made Mauser C-96 taken to World War I and utilized parts from a World War II era MG-81 machine gun, as well as an early 20th century Insult Wetzlar rifle scope. Guinness World Records conferred a prize earned the blaster a title of most expensive prop gun sold at auction. So, man, somebody got paid. Wish I run across a fucking cool collectible like that, but that never really happens.
Yeah, like a thrift store find or some shit kind of.
That would be good.
Yeah, I wish I could get into Star Wars. I'm fascinated by like how deep the worlds and the characters are. And this is another dive we've gone down. I won't go down it again. It's just so much, man. It's so intense. And I think that's why if you didn't grow up with it, I feel like starting it now, I'm immediately fucking lost. And I've tried to watch a couple of the movies and yeah, you're right. Some of them are tight and shit, but,
I'm mostly falling asleep.
Yeah, it's a lot of goddamn shit. So, I don't know, man. I really wish I did. Is there something like that you feel like, man, you wish you liked some shit, but you just don't?
Math. Hate math. Fucking hate it. Yeah, wish I loved it, but hate it. Hate it, man.
Fuck, I do too.
Now, I know you got kids, man, so what if one of them, don't you got one that's about 9 or so, maybe around that age?
10.
All right. 10, okay. Let's say that kid already got that high school diploma last year. Ooh. Man, what would you do as a parent? Would you go on and send them to college at this level, or just kind of chill out? Maybe do I don't even know what the hell you do. I don't even know. That'd be weird, man.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, you know what? If she's ready for college, yeah, fuck, I'd send her. Let her go. I mean, if they've already finished school that early, hell yeah, why not?
Well, a Pennsylvania 9-year-old earned high school diploma by Ben Hooper. A 9-year-old Pennsylvania boy with dreams of becoming an astrophysicist is one step closer to his goal after graduating high school. David Blogan started at Harrisburg Reach Cyber Charter School as a 3rd grader and now has been awarded high school diploma after completing required classes virtually from his home in Bensalem. Quote, I wanted to do it because I had the ability to do it, end quote, Balogun said, so why not use those abilities for the greater good? Balogun, who is also working getting his black belt in karate, has already completed a semester at Bucks Community College and looking to continue his education at a 4-year college or university. I want to be an astrophysicist, and I want to study black holes and supernovas. Balogun told CBS Philadelphia. The boy's parents, who have advanced degrees, said their son is unusually gifted. Quote, he's a 9-year-old with a brain that just has the capacity to understand and comprehend a lot of concepts that's beyond his years and sometimes beyond my understanding. Said his mother, Ronya. All right, so this is a complicated deal. This dude's 9 years old, super smart. Man, what do you do with that, man? Because the midlife crisis is either going to come earlier in life. You do your bad shit at some point. It's going to be earlier. It's going to be later.
God damn.
Smartest has no fucking like what do I want to say, bearing on this, right? He's 9. Bro, he ain't ready for college.
He ain't ready for the social aspects of college.
Virtual college, he could go do that, man. I mean, yeah. And he did virtual high school shit. So yeah, I guess that would be good for him.
Yeah, and I mean, if he's a kid, I mean, this motherfucker ain't even hit. I shouldn't call a kid a motherfucker. What am I doing? I mean, yeah, it's weird because I mean, you can be that smart, you can do the book work, which I've got a lot of questions about that, and I'm going to narrow them down. One, it seems like his parents are pretty well grounded and shit. It just seems like this kid's just a prodigy out of the womb, and so that takes me back. So I'm wondering who recognized, like, man, this kid's smart. How do you move somebody up at 9 years old? And just realize they're that damn gifted, man. That is crazy to me. God, I always thought going into high school from like middle school and shit, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be a dumb fuck. I don't know any of this shit in middle school, and next year they're gonna send me to high school. He's already planning on being an astrophysicist, so I don't know. I think you make a good point. The social aspects, there's no way he's ready to handle. Man, he hasn't even hit puberty yet, so you can't be ready for the social aspects of it. But yeah, you can do the work. But what happens if he gets all the work done? He graduates college and he's 14. I mean, you put him in a job consulting at NASA or some shit.
Hey, J.Wiggy. I heard you wore culottes in high school, motherfucker.
Culottes? You make me sound like a Texas woman.
What the hell is a culotte? Is that like what is that? Is that like a capri or something? I don't even know what that is.
That's like those baggy knickers shorts, breeches that the French wore. God, Whis, what is Whis talking about?
That's what I heard, movie.
Remember their extra roomy, jams? Remember those shorts, jams? Man, I don't think you too young to remember jams. And they used to have these shorts called jams, dude. And they'd be like these funky, like fucking shorts, dude. And they had all kind of like colors and like patterns on them and shit. I remember a student in school used to always have these different fucking jams on all the time. I'm like, this is a crazy time. This motherfucker must be rich. He's got a different pair of jams on every day.
Damn.
Man, the fucking 90s, right?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when that Bugle Boy shit was really popular. Remember Bugle Boy?
Yeah, dude, the commercials. They had a weird commercial.
Yeah, there was like somebody that was like a giant or something. And it was like, living large. And shit.
I met a Wrangler rep at the French Bistro the other day. He was like a rep for Wrangler, right?
Yeah, what the fuck was he up to?
Oh, he's still chilling there with his wife. He's like in the business. He's like in the industrial side, though.
Okay.
Yeah, and he gives me a fucking card for a free pair of jeans. I'm like, hell yeah.
Dude, that's fucking sweet. Now, how do you redeem that?
They already redeemed it. They already came, dude. They give you this card. You get on the website, right? And it's like a hell of a lot of like choices on there. You can pick a pair of jeans or a shirt or something. So I got a pair of jeans. Dude, they came like the next week. No shit. I'm like, damn, I've already been busting them hoes. They look pretty all right, man. Ain't bad, dude. I'll take a free pair of fucking jeans, dude. Not bad at all.
Dude, fuck yeah. I'll always take a free pair of jeans and shit. I actually wrote to, man, who was it? It was Aeropostale one time. And I wrote them.
Around?
I don't think so. I went to the mall the other day. I said the other day, it's probably a couple weeks ago, but I didn't see the store. But I actually liked their jeans, but I wrote to them. I was actually trying to model for them and probably too ugly and shit, but they, I asked how you get into it from them, and they just wrote me a letter back saying that they actually just recruit from agencies. They don't directly do it, but they sent me a coupon for a free pair of jeans, and I actually took that postcard into the store, and dude, they let me pick out a free pair of jeans. Shit was cool.
Man. You know what? All right, so let's see. Now I know we was talking about world records.
Love them.
We got a world record for an old ass dog. He's like 30 years old.
Ooh.
Yeah. Doug Cunningham is not the dog's name, but the dude who wrote this. 30-year-old dog. His name's like Bobby or some shit. He don't even look 30. This is like a dog that looks like not that old. He'd be chilling. I bet he smokes weed and shit. So, Bobby is 30 years old. Guinness said in a statement that the Portuguese dog took the record from a 23-year-old dog named Spike, who was named the world's oldest living dog in January. Bobby, Guinness said, had broken the nearly century-old record for oldest dog ever that was set by Bluey and Bobby, an Australian cattle dog, lived 29 years, 5 months between 1910 and 1939. Bobby, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Bobby or Bobby, as of February 1, 2003, 30 years, 266 days old. He has lived an entire life with the Costa family in the rural village of Conqueiro Leiria, Portugal, the Guinness fool said. Bobby is a purebred Raffaello di Alentejo, which is a breed of livestock guardian dog with an average life expectancy of 12 to 14 years. Bobby's age has been confirmed through a 1992 registration with the Veterinary Medical Service of the municipality of Leiria. According to Guinness, Bobby's age was confirmed by the Portuguese pet data. The Portuguese pet database. Okay, I didn't know they had one of them.
That's for real.
They're official. Bobby's age isn't the only miracle of his life. He was one of several puppies born in and out building belonging to the Costa family, but was decided not to keep them. Unfortunately, at the time, it was considered by normal by older people who could not have more animals at home to bury the animals in a hole so they would not survive. Jesus. He said his parents quickly removed the puppies, but left Bobby behind by mistake. According to the Costa family, Bobby was never chained or attached to a leash and always roamed the farm land and forests near the Costa home. Bobby has always eaten human food, and yeah. So, old Bobby, man. What is this? It don't say. Oh, he. Okay, so it is a he.
Yeah.
Bobby. Man,
he's a good-looking dog. Yeah,
he is a handsome boy.
Shit. Yeah, smiling still. Teeth look good. Eating human. Man, see, his teeth look good because he ain't crunching on those hard-ass kernels that they put in a fucking sack. He's eating good, nice human food.
Yeah, you gotta give your dog good food, man.
Yeah, you can't give him that bullshit, man. Old Roy and shit from my granddad. My granddad be getting a 80-pound sack of that when we were kids and making me lift that shit because he couldn't carry it and making it, man, it was like $7 for 80 pounds and he's putting it in a trough for all his dogs to eat.
Yeah.
While this motherfucker over here eating steak and salad. Bobby.
Steak and salad, old Bobby, man, he's chilling. Man, let's go ahead and take some calls and see what's happening on the phone. All right, looks like we got, who the hell is this? Tanya from Jasper.
Hey, this is Tanya from Jasper, Alabama. Grant, you single? You need a girl from Walker County in your life.
All right, let's go ahead and go to Janie in Jacksonville, Florida.
This is Janie from Jacksonville, and I just wanted to know what you fellas thought about the hire of Kevin Steele and Tommy Reese for Alabama this upcoming season, and I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. You know what? This weekend was fucking weird, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but, old Janie called, so no football. Odd.
Was
still
odd.
But yeah, no football this weekend. So weird. We don't have anything, no pro football, anything. It's one of those lull weekends for the big danks, if you will. But man, what do you think about? Well, first, just go on the OC side. I don't know much about Tommy Reese, so I'm gonna defer to you on this. What do you think about this guy?
Yeah, I didn't know much about him, but I did my homework and I looked because I think there's always a knee-jerk reaction. So, before I say good, bad, unknown, Saban knows what he's doing. He's not going to hire somebody that's a piece of shit. And I think some of the reactions from people are a little overkill. Man, I mean, I get it. You want name recognition. You want somebody that's putting up, huge offenses and shit like that. you're not going to get them in a coordinator position. If they're that good, they're going to move on to head coaching, and they're not going to go to Alabama unless they really need that experience to get to the next level, in my opinion. Looking at what he did, Notre Dame, he's young. I think that's a good thing for Alabama because at 30 years old, he's familiar with this era of offense. He played at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not an impressive school, but I mean, I think with the caliber of players at Alabama, and I think with the caliber of guy that people say that he is, I know Brian Kelly wanted him at LSU. He didn't go. That to me says a lot. And if Saban wants him, that says a lot. So I think it's cautiously optimistic. Give him a chance because you're playing with a lot better talent here. I mean, you can probably execute any X's and O's at Notre Dame, but if you don't have the talent, it may not, it may not execute like you want it to. I think at Alabama, that's going to be a different story. So I don't think it's, the hire that a lot of people wanted, but I don't think it's bad either. I think with the talent Alabama gets, as long as they're half-ass decent, you can put up a lot of numbers. So that's my long-winded opinion, Grant Mills, on the OC. What do you think?
I really have no idea about this guy. So let's just see. But now we got Kevin Steele. This is a retread. But I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think let's just see how it goes. Like you said, Nick Saban's he's the man in charge anyway, man, when it comes down to it. So, it's not just, it's a whole collaborative effort. And I don't think, listen, obviously, this guy wasn't first choice, but there were our worse choices than Kevin Steele.
Yeah, Kevin Steele's been kind of a bounce around guy. I saw some interesting facts about it. I think it's kind of weird, but I think the benefit to Kevin Steele is exactly opposite of Tommy Rees. He's old. He's 64, I think. But he's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to get an opportunity like this again, in my opinion. I don't think someone's going to gamble on him as a head coach. He was terrible head coaching. So I think he's going to be stuck in this position. Good thing is, though, he had some impressive defenses when he was with Auburn. That was the team under Malzahn that beat Alabama 3 times, and they were pretty stingy defenses. People talk good about him. I think he's a good coordinator. I think just the bounce around is what is he tends to go place to place. Whether that's no fault of his own, I don't know, but. I don't know. I think there's good to both. I don't think there's great, but I also don't think it's fair to say until they actually get on the field and do some shit. But Saban's got the talent, and Kiffin even tweeted today, made a fucking great point. Saban recruited a #1 class with no coordinators. I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive. So all he needs these guys to do is execute their job with the talent he gets. And Alabama will be fine.
I love Bama, y'all.
Oh, great insight.
Man, what an analyst you are.
Fuck yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and go to Jacques in Paris, France.
Oh shit.
It is Jacques, you stupid American. I wanted to ask you, fat American, what is your favorite snack food you eat? I know you fat Americans love to eat, especially snacking. With French, I love a little biscuit, with a fromage, maybe a little poisson as well. So tell me what your fat Americans love.
Oh, God. He's rude. All right.
Hey, asshole.
I'm not really a snacker anymore. I guess maybe when I was a kid, man.
I like Star Crunch, yeah. A little Star Crunch, and a little baby Swiss rolls, yeah.
Oh, I tried to eat a Swiss roll recently. I almost had a stroke. I almost had a massive coronary. That's fucking things. I don't even know how the hell we ate that shit back in the day.
No, they sweet as fuck, man. You know what I get down on sometimes is some beef jerky. Get a. I
What
like that.
kind though, man? There's so much different kinds. Do you have like
Actually,
a preferred brand?
I don't. Actually, Walmart makes a pretty good, great value brand. I'm sure it's just a, it's probably some of the same shit. They just package it in their own thing. But man, just some teriyaki style beef jerky in the bag. Pull out a couple pieces. Good snack. I'm like you. I can't do sugary snacks anymore. I can. Man, I had some cake this weekend. Birthday cake, red velvet, and it's good. But man, I cut me a tiny little slice of that thing. Back in the day, we were eating whole ass corners of a birthday cake. And man, probably fucking 250 grams of sugar in that. But I don't get down on too much sugar shit anymore.
I can't eat anything nowadays, man. Everything's bad for you. White potatoes are bad. They got lectins. Corn's bad. It's got lectins. What the fuck am I supposed to eat, man? Like, what the fuck, man? It's all a scam.
Man, that's that fucking dog Bobby. What the fuck he eating? He lived a long
Bobby
ass
eating
time.
that good shit.
Yeah, what's he eating?
No.
Eat that shit.
You can fix like homemade dog food. I don't know, man. Thought about that. When you like fixing in a big ass, like you do a meal prep for the dog, man. He's got it pretty fucking good. God damn.
Yeah, just to watch him go out and take a shit in your yard.
Yeah, and you got to pick it up. And
oh
man, that's what they do down here. I see a lot of hot girls picking up dog shit.
Man, you got to get on the phone with Mr. Scooper. They can help you out with this shit.
Oh man, whatever happened to them? Let's go to Jack in New Jersey.
Hey, this is Jack from New Jersey. I wanted to put in my ultimate gaming room pick. The game Knock. It's an arcade game. You might have seen it in the 80s. It was really cool. You were like narc agents blowing up fools, and it was so cool shit, shooting up fuckers, getting, arresting druggies and shit. Y'all remember that game?
I do remember that game. That was a cool game.
What game was that? Game?
It's called Narc.
Narc.
NARC. It had like it had a 2-player game. It was like a 2-player side scroller, and you had like the red guy and the blue guy. You were cops.
Cool.
And really good graphics back then too. And you could you had a machine gun and a rocket launcher. And you'd be blowing up people. It was cool, man. Pretty cool game. Pretty especially for back then, man. Like the detail.
Checking it out now, it's slowly bringing back some memories. I remember it arcade wise, but God, that's a good throwback. Really good throwback.
I bet Wiggy knows that game.
Oh, yeah.
Wiggy. So we do got to add that to we got 25 selections, and I'm not going through them real fast right now. Silent Scope, DDR, Top Skater, T2, Afterburner, Arch Rival, Centipede, Dig Dug, Frogger, 720, Tekken 2, MK1, MK2, Street Fighter 2, MK3, Miss Pac-Man, Cruising USA, Tron, Dragon Slayer, Pac-Man, Simpsons, Moonwalker, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, WrestleFest, Lucky and Wild, Tekken 3, and now Narc at 26. Putting that down on the list. Let's keep on with your calls, folks, with the Ultimate Game Room picks, everybody. We're at 26 right now. We got Gerald in Ohio as our next caller.
This is Gerald from Akron, Ohio. I got a piss test tomorrow, and I'm a little bit scared. I'm not sure what to do. There's no way I'm going to pass. Do you have any tips? Help, please.
Gerald, you called the right place. Gerald called the right place. I wish you hadn't hung up. I wanted to ask a couple more questions, but he did say piss test. So I was going to come up with a segment called Adventures in Drug Testing, but we had someone call already, so I will give my expertise. Now, Gerald says he has a piss test tomorrow. Gerald, if you can go to your local head shop or somewhere that has artificial urine, such as Quick Fix or Dr. X's Agent. Wait a minute, Dr. Green's Agent X is also another one. You got to make sure it has urea in it, because some of the places have got hip to the game and they test for urea, but anything like Quick Fix or Agent X, whatever the fuck, it's going to have it on the front and say contains urea. You're good. Probably about 3 ounces I'm going to tell you what to do, Gerald. Here's what you do. There's many methods, but this is the easiest one. On the morning of your test, Gerald, you're going to have your 3-ounce bottle of your quick fix or whatever it is. All right, it's got a temperature strip on it. Put it in the microwave for 10 to 15 seconds. Now, once you grab it out of the microwave, I'm going to need you to butt cheek it in between your butt cheeks. Do not remove the seal or anything like that from the cap. Leave it as is. Put it in between your butt cheeks, and then go to your testing site. All right, at this point, you're good to go. It's going to keep your temperature in between 90 and 100 degrees because this is all they're going to be looking for. So once you do your thing, you go in. Nobody's going to be watching you here because, this is not this is what we're presuming. Now, if you're going to a place where they're watching you, we can get into that into a different deal. But this is not that scenario. All right, go in. Put it into your container. Then don't throw it away. Don't throw away the evidence. Put it back in your drawers, and you'll dispose of it later, just in case. They probably don't care, but that's probably not a good idea anyway. Take it with you. Take your trash with you. You're good to go as long as it tests in between 90 and 100 degrees. You're good to go. There's passing. Now, I do have one thing that I do want to say to you guys out there trying to pass a hair test. A hair drug test. That's hard, right? A lot of people don't pass it, but there's also one little part of information that people get wrong with a hair test. With a hair drug test, trying to pass a hair drug test with shampoo, with a medicating of a shampoo that's going to keep you clear for a couple of days. Now, I know Whis has piss test process, but we'll get into that maybe at another time. But what I'm going through with this hair thing, though, there's a tip, all right? You do the shampoo on your hair, all right? Here's where people fuck up. They get the comb that they've been using before they even applied that's got all the weed shit that's been on it. And then they comb their hair with it and redeposit the weed shit. So don't do that, all right? It's probably a hard thing to remember because it's habitual, but if you got to do a hair test, then that's the tip. Style it with your washed hands and not your previous brush with hair follicle weedness all over it.
Good tip.
Tip of the month. There you go, Gerald. There you go.
So what do you? I've got to ask. What do you do if somebody is watching you? Is that another deep dive though, or?
You might have to get something like a Whizzinator or because I don't know about that. Well. That's what I would do. I've never had to do that. Or like some guys will get Drano crystals and that's pretty hardcore though. And put them up in their nails, and then when they piss and like scratch it off into the
yeah. I actually had a temp job one time. Went to a temp agency. Worked at this place for a month. Fucking sucked. But it was a background screening place. And part of the job, the actual guy that did the piss test monitoring was out for a week. So they asked me to do it for the men that were coming in taking their piss test. So had to, administer or monitor 3 piss tests. I didn't even give a shit, man. They wanted you in there watching them while they did this, man. I just told them, I said, go in there, man, and do your shit. I'm not looking at you. Dude, I ain't no pecker checker.
Is this for pre-employment, or is this some kind of law enforcement deal?
I think they did both, but the ones that I did were all pre-employment. Yeah, so they would send them there. But yeah, I think they did both there. But man, I didn't give a shit. Maybe maybe that's the wrong thing, but that was not the job description I signed up for. They put me in that position because somebody was missing it. They didn't have a backup. That's on them. So when the guys, like I said, I think I did 3 monitorings, but fuck that, dude. When the guys came in, I was like, man, go in that bathroom and do it. And they asked me to keep the door cracked and monitor them while they did it. I'm not doing that, man. Like I said, I'm not a pecker checker.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Let's go to Drew in, where's this fool calling from? Italy.
This is Drew from Italy. I just wanted to ask you, what is is your favorite pastas? Have you been to Italy? You should go. But I love a good angel hair. What about you?
You sound like you're from Transylvania. Damn, Drew. I don't know, man. Like Dracula. Man, I like some linguine, man. That's some good shit with some garlic and shrimps. Oh, well, what about you, man? You like that angel hair, I bet, J.Wiggy.
Man, I dig some angel hair. I get down with some fucking baked ziti and shit. You like
Oh,
ziti?
I haven't had that in a long time, man.
Yeah,
Baked ziti. What do you put some meat in there with that, or
God, I haven't had them forever, but yeah, man. Any pasta dish, pasta reminds me of Mexican food, man. It's pretty much the same shit with just different noodles and cooked a little differently. But noodles, meat, and cheese is the basis of some good pasta, man. I have not had baked ziti in a while. My mom used to actually get down and make some good ass baked ziti, but I'm gonna have to get that out, man. I like some baked ziti. That's a good question. We got some international cuisine and international callers tonight. I'm impressed.
yeah, right. Klaus is, I don't know. Klaus is just an engineer. He don't have shit to do with it. They're calling in because they love the show.
Absolutely.
That's why.
Yeah, ZD though for show.
I like them manicotti.
Manicotti, I don't know. That's a like real big one, I think, and they stuff it with a lot. That actually looks pretty good, man. I need to I'm always on a quest. My last thing was the double cheeseburger, so I gotta get a new thing out of Master. The last thing was the chicken Philly roll up. I was trying to reverse engineer, but I'm kind of giving up on that. I don't know. I got the ingredients. I just need the spicing. That's a hard thing to kind of get down, but I feel we'll get it. Let's go ahead and take another call. Aaron in Chi-Town.
Hey, Ron.
This is Aaron from Chicago. Do you think my Chicago Bears are cursed? They just haven't been able to get it together. What are you thinking about? What do you think they need to do?
I don't know much about them.
Yeah,
Justin Fields. I don't even know who the coach is. I don't know, man. It's just a team I don't give a shit about.
Yeah. I don't either. Who is the coach? Dick Butkus?
Yeah, he probably should be.
Yeah. Probably all right.
Because the last one I remember was Matt Nagy, but he's not there anymore, and so it's somebody. But yeah, I don't know, man. They got a talented quarterback, and I thought they had a good defense at one time with Khalil Mack, and I don't know what to say about that fucking team, man. They're just they might be cursed. Only thing about them, they had a Super Bowl in '85, so how cursed are you, dude? I mean, the Raiders are cursed, but they had one in '82, so maybe they are cursed, man. I guess it's all about perception on this one.
Yeah, Chicago seems like that actually seems like a cool pro game to go see, a Bears game. I could get down on that. That'd be a cool bucket list game to go watch. Not that I give a shit about them, but I think their fans probably have a lot of passion. It reminds me of Bears fans remind me of Roseanne in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, man.
Remember that shit? Living in poverty outside of Chicago and being big Bears fans and shit.
Hell yeah. I never really got into that show. Some people love that shit. I don't know, man. But
I could do without it. It's kind of depressing. It's like The Wonder Years, man. The Wonder Years is a fucking good show, but I can't watch it again because it's so goddamn depressing.
That was a good show, man. Wendy got the name. Yeah.
Still fine, goddamn.
Brody, get in the jello.
Yeah. Oh man, we got this is a special. I know we've been on that boxing shit lately, right? So I got another one. This is a Dreamcast one for this current vintage video game review, folks. So this is a Dreamcast title, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 is a boxing game for the Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, and Game Boy Advance. It is also the sequel to Ready to Rumble Boxing. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't review Ready to Rumble Boxing first. Fuck it. This is a game that I put that I selected. Gameplay. Let's talk about the gameplay. Gameplay in this game is similar to that of the previous game. The more big hits the player lands consecutively that spell out rumble appear below the player side of the screen. Letters also appear when the fighter taunts his opponent. Once the word is formed, the powerful combo attacks can be activated that will almost definitely knock out the opponent. This time, however, there are 3 levels of rumble, which build up one after the other. If the player successfully lands a combo with his rumble meter full on the 3rd level, where the letters start smoking, the final blow can launch the opponent clear out of the ring, giving the player instant victory. Man, did you ever get out on the ready to rumble shit?
I think I did. It's I'm looking at the screen caps. I believe a buddy of mine had I did not have a Dreamcast. Did you have a Dreamcast? Or ever get down?
I did not, but I know they had this on PlayStation and PlayStation 2 as well.
That's right. It was a popular game at the time. I loved any boxing game. Still a big fan of any fighting game, MMA and boxing. But yeah, prior to MMA, boxing was the shit. I love the graphics. I love the characters of this game. I remember it a little bit, but I think it was a buddy that had it that I played on the Dreamcast. So cool game for show.
News from Midway's sequel to Ready to Rumble Boxing was first made public back in summer 1999 and May 2000. Showed the game at E3. It was here that Midway announced the game would receive a PS2 release. In September 2000, the game was previewed for public, demonstrating that year's ECTS. Same month, images and screenshots of 2 of the game's unlockable characters were revealed. Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jackson. It was stated that Jackson was motion captured and digitally photographed for his character and also lent his own voice to the character, albeit at a lower register than his usual speaking voice. Midway released the PlayStation 2 version on October 23rd to coincide with the release of the PlayStation 2. As with the previous game, ring announcer Michael Buffer appears in the game as himself. The game's roster also features U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary Clinton, credited respectively as Mr. President and the First Lady. Due to hardware restrictions, several characters had to be cut from the N64 version, namely Freaky Dicky, Wild Stubby Corley, Freedom Brock, GC Thunder, and Roblox Reese 4, and Rumble Man. Man, this game was kind of cool, man. I played it a pretty good bit this weekend.
How was it?
Arcade style. Yeah, kind of like an arcade style game. Pretty fun. And I had a good bit of replay value. I would say it's not a bad game.
That's surprising Michael Jackson lent his likeness to a boxing game. That just seems... that just does not marry well in a weird way. I just can't imagine him... I'm surprised he did that. Kudos to him, because it seems kind of fun to have a Michael Jackson in a boxing game, but just did not seem like his avenue.
Hey, man, they probably gave him a fat-ass chick.
Ah, Mr. Honey.
Well, this game did receive mixed or average reviews on all platforms, except for the PlayStation 2 version. I didn't play that one, which received generally favorable reviews, according to review aggregation website Metacritic. Greg Orlando of Next Gen said in its February 01 issue that the same PS2 version fills its spit bucket with last year's saliva. 5 issues later, however, the magazine said the Game Boy Advance version was still in the ring, but out on its feet. In Japan, Famitsu gave the former console version a score of 31 out of 40. I'm going to give this bad boy 3 out of 5. Pretty fun, but not that fun, but still good. It's worth the play, or 5. Maybe more than that, you know. I might get in on it later on. I don't know, man. I've been wanting to get back on my football games, man. I might hit up Mutant League tonight or something.
Fuck yeah. Mutant League's good shit.
Fun games. It's all fun and games, man. 12. Man, what's going on this weekend, my friends? You got big plans, watching some NBA games or some shit? I don't know. What is that about?
Ooh, NBA. I have not gotten into basketball in a while. Alabama's got a hell of a basketball team, though. You been watching any of the Tide?
No.
I haven't either. That's just what everybody tells me, and I have to think my way through the conversations. You know what? I'll probably keep getting down on a couple of streaming apps. I've been checking out a couple of Paramount and shit. Man, I've enjoyed the nostalgia, so probably gonna go down and check out some more Nick shows. and relive the 90s for a little bit. What say you, Grant Mills?
I don't know. We shall see. Whis, what about you?
I'm out right now. I'm about to go get heat. I'll learn to play that.
That sounds like a good idea. I mean, this week, of course, be working and shit, I don't even know, man. I try not to plan anything, so we'll see what happens.
Day by day, man. I'm gonna have to get down on some baked ziti though. That caller from Italy got that on my mind.
Man, baked ziti, that does sound good. I might have to, might be my next dish.
Do it up.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button out there. Hope all you guys have a great week and weekend. Every Monday, 9:30. Subscribe, follow us. We'll be back next Monday at 9:30. Parting shots, J.Wiggy.
Send us your recipes and your video games, and we'll catch you guys next Monday at 9:30.
See you then. Try it out.